Hi guys, welcome back to Fiery Love 1111. I'm here going to do a reading about our ego and how it affects our daily lives and how we can transform the ego energy into what our life's purpose is. So, I've been meditating for a while. As you can see, I have my cards already laid out. And, I've been trying to figure out a title for this reading. And there's so many different subjects I want to go over that I was having a hard time. But then the cards just kind of started to show me what the message is that needs to come out. And, it's just such a beautiful thing. And, I want to just say hi here real quick. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit of a mess, but hi, Spiritual Gangster Tarot. I love you guys. Don't forget to search out Spiritual Gangster Tarot up on YouTube. She's a beautiful, wonderful, wonderful energetic reader. She's in my soul family. I love her to death. Hi. So anyway, thank you, honey. You do too. You always do. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of get into this. And what I wanted to say was, I have been struggling. You probably noticed I only post videos once a week, and it's so, hypocritical kind of for me, or I'm not really sure, an oxymoron, I guess the word is I want to use, because I love doing what I do. This is a gift I have, and I love it so much. It's so much a part of my soul and being when I can help others and do these readings. And, I speak the truth. It may not be what everybody wants to hear, but, this is what Spirit says, and this is what I do, and this is what I love. And it's not always good. It's not always, roses and wine, it's dark, we're made of spirit. We're made of light and dark. So, and that's what I have been struggling with. I go on do these readings once a week, and every time I'm done, I say, oh my God, I'm going to do it every day. I love it. I love how I can help people. I loved how I helped myself, right? And then I realized I've been sitting in my own ego. I've been sitting in my own fear of failure. And that's an ego thing. This being afraid of failure and not being accepted, not being loved for what I do and who I am, is an ego fear. So when you can learn to separate that, because, ego is all about survival. It's that mechanism in our brain that is all about survival. It's food, shelter, the sexual union, between male and female. It's all survival, right? And it's also, ego is what keeps us from getting hurt. Ego tells us, don't do that because you're going to hurt yourself or somebody's going to hurt you. And the ego just drives us to protect ourselves and sit back and not allow these things to happen, right? So, I enjoy doing these readings, but then I was sitting in my ego going, why am I so afraid of failure when I know what I'm doing is my sole purpose? So, I've really been struggling myself to let go of my own stupid ego and say, you know what? My ego doesn't have anything to do with this. My ego is just a fear tactic. Spirit wants us to come through. Spirit wants us to help each other. Spirit wants us to, drive each other to be better than we used to be. That's not being in your ego. That is being in your soul purpose. And so I've really been struggling with it. I want to, almost apologize to my lovely readers, my lovely soul family out there, because, but it also shows me I'm human too. We're all human. We're all in this together to help each other grow, to help each other learn, and to support each other. And, Yes, spiritual gangster. Ego also keeps us from letting go. Yes, that's exactly the truth. Spirit, ego keeps us in this, oh, I can't let go. I can't do that. What if I fail? What if it's blah? It says all these negative things to us. Our stupid, our ego, it's not stupid, but it's just a survival mechanism when we can, and as soon as we can acknowledge, as soon as we recognize that it is our ego that keeps us from our soul purpose, then we can learn to detach from it. It's as simple as that. It's not yelling at ourselves. It's not getting into that energy of saying, oh, I should have known better. I should, just let that go. Let that go and say, okay, I recognize you, ego, for who you are. I recognize you for trying to keep me safe, but I don't need it right now. I'm going to go with my higher self. I'm going to go what's best for me and my higher self, and learn to detach and learn to just flow and let my soul do what it needs to do, why I came down here. This is why I'm here. And I'm not going to let my ego run my life. So just let it go. Let it go and let it flow. And don't yell at yourself. Don't, put yourself down for it. We're all human. We're all here to do these things, to help each other recognize what that difference is between our higher self, our higher knowing, and our ego. And this is the reading that Spirit wants to show me that difference. And it also started to show me, I'm just going to show you the cards now. I just wanted to say hi. I just wanted to say hi, and I love you guys. So I hope you enjoy this reading, but I just want to show you these cards now. So I started to get into this reading, and it was almost Spirit's way of talking to me directly. But I realized that it applies to all of us. It applies to all of us, this separation of the ego and spirit. So I'm just going to start getting into it. Okay, this is the card of my opening messages from Spirit. This is a life plan of releasing the ego and learning to connect to our higher selves, okay? And then this pile up here is, it's about learning to connect to our masculine and feminine energies, and I'll get into that really deeply. And then this is, I don't know, Spirit's been telling me so many different messages, and this is like another life path, working on energies of Spirit right now within ourselves. And then I have a closing pile of messages from Spirit. So let's just start getting into it. And if you don't remember the list, it's fine. It doesn't really matter, honestly. It's just beautiful messages of Spirit that's coming through. And so I just want to show you real quick, the two decks I'm using is, of course, the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And the only reason I'm using this deck today, it doesn't have to do, I want you to know this, I'm single, I'm not dating anybody, so it doesn't have to do with a coupling. It doesn't have to do with somebody you're with. It doesn't have to do with divine masculine, divine feminine. This is the sexual energy I'm talking about in this reading that it applies to is more of our root chakra, sacral chakra, the chakras that keep us grounded, attached to the earth, that keep us, our sexual energy and our sexual chakras are what drives us. It gives us our purpose. Okay, so that's the energy I'm talking about. It doesn't really have to do with any certain relationship. Okay, it's the relationship within ourselves, Spirit says. Okay, it's the relationship, the sexual power that each of us carry can be, it's not talking about having sex with somebody. It's taking that power, that sexual power within us, and applying it to your life, condensing it, channeling it, and applying it to your life's purpose. It's taking that power and applying it and making it the best that you can possibly be within yourself. And it's just, a beautiful energy. And then The other deck I'm using is the Lover's Oracle. This is a brand new deck I just got. It's a lot bigger than the usual Lover's Oracle, and this deck applies to the loving of ourselves. Okay, that's really huge. And in this life, in this day and age right now, Spirit really wants to push forward the energy of recognizing how much we are hard on ourselves. This is the main reason for this reading today, because we are so hard on ourselves and take this ego and push ourselves and degrade ourselves and just put ourselves down so much in Spirit. When you really recognize your higher self and your spirit guides and the spirits that your spirit angels and stuff, and recognize that they're here and helping us, they help us to realize that, they're not as hard on us as we are. They're never as hard on us as we are. We're always so much harder on ourselves. We're here to learn. Being in this human body and having this human experience and having this attachment to our ego is not an easy thing. And Spirit knows this. The universe knows this. And they want to say, just, kind of take a break on yourself. Give yourself a break. This is why we're here. This is why we're here to learn and to love and to grow and accept each other for, I just looked at the clock a little bit ago and it said 11:11. This is like a beautiful spiritual union within ourselves that's happening. Learning to love and accept ourselves. Spirit just really wants to encourage us to recognize that we're not perfect. That's why we're here. And it is such a beautiful, loving energy that I almost want to cry because they have our back. Our spirit guides and our higher selves. Okay, sometimes our spirit guides, actually all the time, our spirit guides are also our higher selves. They come in and they say, and they have this wisdom and knowledge and love of all our past lives, all in one, and they just want to pat our back and say, you know what, you're doing the best you can with what you have. Give yourself a break. And when you can recognize that and accept that, it makes life so much easier. It really makes life so much easier and more enjoyable. It really does. So the opening messages are so beautiful. Like I said, when these cards came out, I wasn't even sure what kind of, as a reader, it's hard to know what the energy is going to say, what Spirit wants to say, but I knew Spirit wanted to say something. Okay, so I'm also going to probably explain myself a little bit, how I work as a reader and how the energy works. But, these two cards came out right away. This is an opening message. And, I don't read these sexual tarot as traditional tarot. I read them whatever the message says. So it was the World card and the Seven of Wands. And I don't know if you can see this up close, but the Seven of Wands, to me, this message is very clear to me. You see how he's not holding her. They're embracing. She's kind of embracing him and he's kind of embracing her, but he's barely touching her. And so, that message to me is clear as day, is that he's resisting her. And it's not a he versus her energy. It's just a resistance of yourself, okay? It's a resistance of your own truth that's coming out. The world is available, but it's going to be on the other side when you keep resisting yourself, where you keep resisting your own life's purpose and stay stuck in ego. This is an opening message, okay? And the beautiful part about it is the oracle cards. Okay, so I want to have you see this. And then I'm going to show you the oracle cards that came out to clarify. And this is just, one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I love how Spirit works. I really almost cry when I let go and let Spirit talk through me, okay? So look at this. This card clarifies this one. And it says, life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, We resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You will be surprised where it leads. See, this is like so beautiful because see, he's, it's they're resisting themselves. It's not necessarily he's resisting her and she's resisting him. It's when we resist what comes naturally for ourselves, then this change can't happen, right? So this opening message is just saying, learning how to decipher that ego and decipher when it's necessary to let go, to allow this change to come in. Okay. And then the World card as an opening message, this one, look how beautiful this is. This says, I don't know if you can read it. I'm going to try to read it here. It says, manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. You can have the world when you learn to let go and just trust yourself. Trust your own intuition. Trust your own inner knowing. It's very much a letting go. Stop thinking energy, okay? Letting go of the ego need to survive and protect yourself, blah, all that negative stuff that keeps you, like in this container. This container is what your ego is. And it won't let you go outside because God forbid you get hurt. God forbid you don't learn. God forbid somebody else hurts you, right? That's all ego. It's all survival. So as soon as you can recognize that, you can just dissipate it and let it go. Let it flow and manifest these miracles. Have the world in your fingertips. Have the world in your hand when you can learn to let that ego go and see what your actual higher self is capable of. What is your purpose? What you came down here for? Because, you're going to keep getting nudges. You're going to get nudges when you start to think, oh, I'm bored with my life. I need change. Or you're just seriously just keep getting these little tiny nudges from spirit saying, remember what you wanted to do with your life? Do you remember what your soul purpose is? I know you do. I know it's in there. Your higher self's just very sweet and loving, and it'll keep reminding you, do you remember that purpose? Do you remember it? And then just letting go of that ego. And you can have everything you want. Follow your heart. You can have everything you want. I mean, what a beautiful opening message this is. This is just the opening message, right? There's so much more that Spirit's just going. I just love it. And then, the next messages that come through are this. Oh, it's so deep, but it's so hitting home for me. And I think if it hits home for me, it'll hit home for a lot of you that are in this soul family of mine, of ours. It's just, the wheel came out with the 9 of Wands and the Strength card. Okay. So right off the bat, I just want to show you the 9 of Wands is the understanding of, to me, it's not just, sitting down with a divine masculine, divine feminine and having this talk. It's having this talk within ourselves. Okay. This is very much a self energy, self realization reading. Okay. So having that realization of just sitting down and getting to know your true self. Who are you? Okay, that's a very deep question and loving question to ask yourself. I encourage you, and Spirit encourages you to ask this of yourself. Who are you? Who are you really? Why are you here? What is your soul purpose? Okay, and sometimes, it's going to be different for absolutely everybody on this earth. No two people will have that same type of gift and purpose that they're here for. Everybody's going to be a little bit different because we're all different. We resonate at a different vibration, a different frequency. There's no two people that ever are going to resonate the same. And so just embracing that. Who are we? Sitting down and talking with yourself and realizing, accepting all those loving energies for who you are. And that includes the darkness and the light, okay? Because we're not perfect, okay? We have to accept those energies, those fears, and recognize them when they show up. It's recognizing them when they show up and just allowing it to flow, because we're not all going to come down here and be, oh, I'm just all this light and love, and I don't accept any darkness in my life, and all this stuff. And then, there's not going to be just one person that's going to be on. It's going to be all dark. We're all made of dark and light. It's the acceptance of utilizing and acknowledging how much we want to bring that out in ourselves in each lifetime. Okay. So you can just stay connected to those darker energies your whole entire life and never utilize the light, and vice versa. But will it help us grow? Spirit says. Spirit wants to know, will it help us grow? Will it help us grow if we do that? Because our higher selves are always going to nudge us to remember these things, to remember this is why we're here, to embrace and dance with those darkness and those light energies, and make them into the best that we can be. Okay, the best that we can be. So, and finding the strength to do so. It's finding that strength within ourselves to look at that darkness, to look at that light, and balance out, finding that strength to find ourselves and accept ourselves and love ourselves for who we are completely, and not let our egos get the best of us. And then that allows the wheel to come in and allows us that change. It allows us that utilization of, see how she's laying here, she's looking down and she's forlorn and she's sad. She's not very loving herself. She's not, she's very, very down and out. And then she starts to recognize, and I don't mean just she, I just mean a soul, it could be divine masculine, divine feminine, take it as it resonates, right? She starts to realize, hey, I am a loving being. I am made of that same spark of energy that made the whole universe. I am the same energy. I can transform my life. I am given free will. I am given a choice inside myself to choose to change, to choose to find that strength, to talk and find out the dark and light inner workings of myself, find that strength and change and love myself for who I am. I can do this. I can choose. And Spirit just wants to congratulate. Spirit is there right behind us, right? Patting our backs, standing next to us, supporting us, showing us these signs all the time. They really are. And the more you connect to that, the more you see that, the more you're going to see that. The more you're really going to see that in your life, and you can just go with it and roll with it and accept yourself for completely who you are, not put yourself down for your darkness and your fears and your, just accept it and then roll with it and just keep trying to make yourself better than you used to be. Because, Spirit wants to remind us that even when we don't think we're working on ourselves, we're always working on ourselves. Always working on ourselves, even if it doesn't seem like it. Okay, you can have days, which we all do, where you're just in your darkness. You can go on for weeks like that, where you're just sitting in those shadows. You're sitting in that ego. You're sitting in that pride. You're sitting in all that fear and that lack. Right? And you're sitting in all this frustration and so many energies, right? Well, you're sitting in that. So Spirit wants to show us, if you're sitting in that and maybe you're dwelling on it, that doesn't mean you're not learning. You really are learning because you're sitting in it. You're allowing yourself to see your own darkness. You're allowing yourself to see it. And when you allow yourself to see that darkness, when you sit in that energy and you just observe it and dance with it and realize it is what it is, then you can learn to change it. You see, Spirit's not there to condemn you. Spirit, your higher self is never going to show you these things within yourself to condemn you. It doesn't work that way. They're going to show you what these energies are so you can learn to grasp it, to transform it, to transmute it. Okay. And I'm talking lifetimes of energy, lifetimes of darkness. We don't come into this lifetime with nothing. We come into this lifetime with past lives of major, major energy work. Okay. A lot of fear, a lot of lack of self-esteem, all these energies. And if when you sit in it, and yeah, just embrace it, sit in it for a few weeks, sit in it for months at a time if you have to. But Spirit wants to show us when you do that, you really are learning. You are learning. You are learning about it. You are learning about yourself and just how complicated and beautiful and transformational we are as souls, okay? So don't ever think that you're not learning when this happens, Spirit says, because you're always learning, and they're right here to help you. They're right here to help you transform, and you can transmute it. We have free will. We have the choice to transform this energy and really learn to accept ourselves, and transform, find that strength to transform, right? So, and then look at this. This is so beautiful. The oracle cards that exactly clarified how I took the energy. And the first one was, okay, now I'm going to read it to you what it says, but I'm going to tell you what the energy means. And it says, criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. And I didn't see this as criticizing one another. It's criticizing ourselves. It's criticizing ourselves. And it really goes with this energy, okay? And it's almost like a twofold energy, because whatever is inside of you is what you're going to manifest outside of you, okay? So it's kind of twofold, Spirit shows us. When we can sit and talk with ourselves and accept each other for ourselves, we're going to draw in that energy of somebody that's on that vibrational level for you. Okay, so if you're very, very much criticizing yourself, you're going to draw in somebody that criticizes others or criticize themselves too. It's energy, it's vibration. It has to match. Like attracts like. It's just a law of the universe. So when you can learn to love yourself for that darkness and light, you're going to draw in those people around you too, okay? You're going to draw in those people. So this card just really, it talks about criticizing one another. No, it's criticizing yourself for your darkness and for your light, right? What good is that? Spirit says, what good is that? When you criticize yourself, you are what you are. But if you can recognize it and work on it and find that strength to work on it, then you can transform. Look at that. It just says love and accept. It says love and accept each other, but it also means love and accept ourselves as you are. And as we're not perfect, Spirit says. We're so hard on ourselves. Our ego makes us so freaking hard on ourselves that we don't give ourselves a break. In Spirit, the law of the universe, the law of the real spirit world as it works, we're harder on ourselves on this ego plane, this earth plane, than we are ever in, the spirit world. The spirit world, we're always just trying to encourage each other to be better than we used to be. We encourage each other to be better than we used to be, and we encourage ourselves. That's how it works in the spirit realm. But down on earth, we're attached to an ego, and the ego always tries to protect us. It demeans us. It keeps us locked up inside this little box, and it won't ever let us grow because it's afraid of getting hurt. Okay? Ego is afraid of getting hurt, and ego is afraid of hurting others. So ego will keep us trapped. So when you can learn to let that go, what happens? Your relationship will magically transform, not only with others, but within yourself. When you learn to accept yourself for who you are. Yes, we're not perfect. Yeah, maybe we haven't learned all our lessons. Duh, that's why we're here. We're learning a lot of lessons, right? So just let it go. Let it go off your shoulders. Let that heaviness go. And your relationship with your soul, with yourself, will magically transform. It will just magically let go. This heaviness will just lift. And you can say, you know what? I love myself for who I am. I'm not perfect. Yeah, I'm not perfect. And I am still struggling with my ego. But you know what? I'm trying to do the best I can. I'm doing the best I can with what I have, and I love myself for it. That is what the wheel is. That is the transformation I'm talking about. It's finding that strength, Spirit says, to to acknowledge it. Spirit says when you can acknowledge that you do have weaknesses, you are not perfect, right? But you're also, it's not just honing in on the darkness. It's not just honing in on your imperfections. It's honing in on the light and the love that you are too. It's balancing out those energies, finding the strength to balance out those energies and accept yourself for exactly who you are, for the growth that you have done. Okay, look at your past. Spirit says, look at the things that you weren't capable of, and look how far you've come. Spirit says, look how far you've come. And even if it's just a couple baby steps, you know what? It doesn't matter. You're still growing, and you're still evolving, and you're still changing. And that wheel's happening because you are really learning to accept the light and the dark within yourself. And everything will magically transform because it's energy, right? It's all energy. That's all it is. It's laws of the universe. Like attracts like. Accept yourself, love yourself for your darkness and light, and you're going to attract somebody like that. Okay, because you're attracting it, you are making that and accepting that within yourself. When you can do that, then everything will magically transform. Okay. Now, this is a really deep message because Spirit also wants to remind you, if you do stay connected to that darkness, you will just keep attracting it. So it's very much it's a balancing act within ourselves. Okay. So if you keep putting yourself down, like this is a message for me too. Okay. When I kept putting myself down, I kept letting my ego rule my world and say, well, what if I fail? I want this YouTube channel so much, I just started, I've only been on this, 4 months, right? And this is what I do. I found my purpose. This is what I do. I know this from all my life, my whole life. This is my purpose, is to help others. And I've always had one foot in the spirit world and one foot in this earth realm. So I know what it is. I know what it's like. I know what it feels like. I know so much more than what the 3D world shows us, right? And now that I've grasped at it and really want to run with it, why am I letting my ego stop myself? Why am I letting my ego keep me in this box? Right? And this makes me almost want to cry because that's what I've been doing to myself. Okay, I've been keeping my own ego in this box because I've been so afraid of it. I'm so afraid of failure. But you know what, Spirit, you know what my higher self tells me? Who gives a shit if you fail? Who cares if you fail? You at least tried. You at least tried. You're doing your life purpose. And whether you fail or not, you're doing your life purpose. You are living your best life. And in actuality, you can't fail. You can't fail when you live your highest purpose, no matter how many subscribers I get, no matter how many people, are in my soul family, or that shit doesn't matter. That's an ego thing, right? I don't care. I'm learning to let go of that. I don't care how many subscribers I have. I'm doing what I love to do. I'm doing what I'm brought here to do. This is what I'm made to do. This is what my soul screams out every day to do. And I'm going to just keep loving myself. And yes, I'm actually just I'm crying a lot because my tears won't stop because I've let my ego stop me. Okay. So when you can really recognize what your soul purpose is, what you came down here to do, and run with it and not let your ego, rule you, then you are going to transform your life. I'm transforming my life right now because I made that commitment to myself. I made that commitment to myself to really get to know myself and transform my life and find the strength. Find that strength to transform my life into my soul purpose, not sit and dwell down here in this ego that keeps me down and keeps me dark and keeps me in this stupid little box, right? It's finding that strength to rise above and be the person that I'm meant to be. That's all it is. And it's a beautiful energy. So Spirit wants to remind you, it is a balancing act, okay, that between the darkness and the light, we all have it, but it's a balancing act. So the transformation of your life is when you can accept that. when you can accept your darkness and your light and go with that purpose, run with it, flow with it, scream with it, with joy off the top of the mountains, and just go with that purpose, whatever that is within you. If you can grasp that and run with it, then you are transforming your life. It's as simple as that. You're never going to be the same, ever. And when you die, when you pass over from this earth plane into the spirit world, you're never going to take that back with you. You're going to take this transformation. You're going to take this strength. You're going to take this transformation. You're going to take this strength, and you're going to love yourself, and your soul literally is going to change. Okay? It's going to change, and it's going to expand, and it's going to grow with that wisdom, with that knowledge, with that love for yourself. Your soul will transform. It is transforming as soon as you accept it, as soon as you acknowledge it, and you make that commitment to yourself. Your soul is transformed, Spirit says. Make no doubt about it. It is transformed, and you will ascend. You're ascending when you can do that. So don't be hard on yourself. Take these baby steps for whatever they are and run with it. Run with it. Don't be hard on yourself. Our ego makes us hard on ourselves, Spirit says. Our ego is the one that says, oh, you did a couple baby steps? Well, why haven't you done this sooner? Why haven't you done this years ago? Why didn't you do this lifetimes ago, right? That's our stupid ego. That's our ego saying, well, why didn't you do it sooner? Blah, blah, blah. Right? Our ego is so dumb. Our ego is the one that keeps us limited. Well, if you can just say, you know what, shut up, ego. Shut up. Okay? I'm learning, I'm transforming, and I love myself. You can let your higher self say, you know what, I love myself, and I'm transforming it. I don't care if it's a baby step. You know why? Because it's a baby step upward. And I'm never going to take all those past energies of neglect, of lack of self-esteem with me into another life. Never. Ever, because I love myself now. And when you do that, you really, truly transform, Spirit says. So allow yourself that. Allow yourself and accept yourself for even the baby steps, okay? It's, we're not going to all transform and one day wake up and all our life lessons and all our ego problems and all our fears and all our lack of energies are going to disappear. It doesn't work like that. It's always baby steps. So love yourself for that. Spirit wants you to, I'm seeing these image of literally closing your eyes, okay? And embrace yourself. Close your eyes and embrace your soul for who it is right now. Right now, embrace yourself and love yourself for who you are right now, and really feel that energy of what it means to love your soul for everything it is. All the darkness, all the light, all the lessons you're slowly learning and embracing and being better than you used to be. Embrace that, because it's a beautiful transformation. It really is. It really is. Okay? Wow, that was just like such an incredible second, like a message, like, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm going to be probably crying and laughing a lot because I love what Spirit's saying right now. I really do. It's such a beautiful message, and it doesn't just apply to me. It applies for all of us. Okay. It really applies for all of us. Okay. And then, these messages are a little bit weird. I'm going to just tell you right from the start. So when they first came out, I thought, okay, I usually do these divine masculine readings, and now, geez, I'm trying to do this spiritual message on our soul growth and our ego and our spirit, and some divine masculine wants to come in and talk, right? And I'm going to show you, it's the King of Pentacles. It's the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, the King of Wands, and the King of Swords. They literally all came out, okay? They all came out at once. And I thought, wow, there's a serious masculine energy that wants to come out and has to get a message through and all these things, right? And then I realized, all right, you know what? This is almost a dual message, because it might be so with a divine masculine wanting to come through and talk, but it also Is a message about the divine masculine within us. Okay, so don't forget, this is a very deep message from spirit that wants to always remind us we are dualities, where there's always a duality within us. Okay, and we are made of divine masculine and divine feminine energies. The divine feminine energies are the receptive energies, um, the loving, the giving, the energies of uh, feeling and experiencing. It's just a very, very receptive, loving energy, right? And the divine masculine energies are the doers. They're the it's weird. Spirit just kind of showed me warmonger. I don't I don't know where that came from, but I just got to go with it. The doers, the thinkers, the fixers. They're the very, very forward, dominant energies of getting things done. So it's very dual. Polar energies, right? It's yin and yang. It's and so these energies are coming through, and like I said, I started to think it was a divine masculine coming through, but it's not. It's all the energies of taking this, lessons for what they are, taking that ego again, and and learning that. There is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong in this. We can embrace ourselves. We can take all those fears. So this card right here, I'm just going to show you these first two. I'm just going to hold on, fix them real quick, how they should be for the reading. Okay, so the first two are, this is a very dominant, controlling type energy, and having something their way. It's like a divine masculine saying, I need to have this my way. Okay, and I'm talking about just the divine masculine energy. Okay, it doesn't apply to, like say just men or whatever, or man or masculine. Okay, it doesn't apply to that. I don't know if I'm saying this right. I'm sorry. It's not that. It's just an energy. Okay, and this divine masculine energy that's coming through is saying, I need to have things my way, though. I need to do things my way. I need to have everything my way. It's my way or the highway. And I'm the ruler. I'm the king of my own world, my own universe, and I am the boss here. Okay, so there's that energy, right? And then there's this energy for the Four of Pentacles that just is also, even though this energy is here, this energy is also, a type of tapping on the shoulder and saying, but don't forget, you also have this divine feminine energy that is just very receptive and very loving and very giving and understanding and just very sensual and wants to, just embrace and love herself and take care of her divine masculine. So it's like they working together, so they're tapping on each other's shoulders saying, don't forget you're made of both. You can be this powerful, energy, but you also remember that you're also this very loving energy, and not only loving others, but loving yourself, and being this understanding and being this receptive, beautiful, soft energy. It's just so amazingly feminine and attractive. It's very magnetic, it's very just so receptive and loving, and it attracts the masculine energy because they are the doers, the takers, the fixers, so it's very attractive to each other, right? But then you have these three cards that popped out all together, okay, and which is almost unheard of in any type of reading. Sorry, this one was upside down. But this is how they came out, okay? All three kings, and there's only one king that's missing, and that's the let's see, I have the King of Wands, the King of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. So 3 out of the 4 kings showed up, right? So what does that tell me? What does that tell me? That tells me that, there's this energy out there of just not being afraid. Spirit says not being afraid and embracing who you are as you are and loving yourself and having this empathic energy, that it's okay to be empathic. You can be a divine, you can embrace your divine masculine energies and still be loving. You can still be empathic. You can still be understanding. It's not a and or energy. You can have both. You can have both. And it's just a very beautiful, loving energy that says there's not one right or one wrong, right? You can love yourself. You can be empathic. You can be this strong, dominant energy within yourself, and you can be this loving, empathic energy. And then the oracle cards that came out that it's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful how they came out. The oracle cards that came out to clarify this. Look at this. It says, let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims. It simply allows and gives. And then this one, when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. So do you see how beautiful that is? Think of how beautiful that energy is that came through out of all these cards, okay? There's like 50 some odd flipping cards in this. There's like 50 some odd cards in this deck. There's like 70 something in this deck, right? And these two cards, right? I mean, the whole reading so far, they perfectly clarify the other cards, the energy that came out, right? So it's just saying, love yourself for that divine masculine energy that is within you and the divine feminine energy. Embrace it when it shows up, Spirit says. Embrace it when it shows up. Okay, now this is I want you to really take this message as it is and really run with it, okay? So, say you're born into a feminine body or say you're born into a masculine body. Your spirit says you don't have to just embrace those energies because you're born into a feminine body. Does that mean you need to only be a divine feminine? Does that mean you can't ever embrace your divine masculine energies? No, and vice versa with the divine masculine. Just because you're born into a male body, let's say, doesn't mean you need to only embrace your divine masculine energies. Embrace them both. Embrace them both and take that love, take that empathy. Take that love and empathy and be okay with showing that. It doesn't make you less masculine or less feminine. It doesn't make you less feminine when you embrace those divine masculine energies and vice versa. You're not less of a man, so to speak, when you embrace those feminine energies of being receptive and understanding and empathic. Spirit just shows you, just when it comes to matters of the heart, there's no right or wrong. If you feel more comfortable embracing one energy than the other, then do it. That's what comes natural for your spirit, then do it. There is no right or wrong, because no matter what choice you make, you will learn. You will learn, and it doesn't matter. It's all okay. Can you see how energy and spirit wants to say this? And then let there be closeness between you, but give each other space. Love never claims. It simply allows and gives. That's this energy. That's this energy of loving yourself, but giving yourself space, okay? Like giving yourself space means like giving yourself space to grow. It's not only giving others space to grow and learn and love, but giving yourself that. Giving yourself that. Not neglecting yourself, not putting yourself down, okay? When you recognize when that happens, you can just say, okay, thank you, ego. I see this, and thank you for showing it to me, but now I'm going to let you go. And just embracing yourself. Give yourself space and time and energy to accept and love yourself for exactly who you are. Okay, so and I'm going to just give you an example of me as an example. Okay, I'm an empathic. I've been an empath my whole entire life, and I've been very spiritual. And I reside between this world and the spirit world. That's just how I am. It's how I am and how I have been for as long as I can remember. Okay, I remember being, um, and these are some stories that, they might even bring up some tears in my own eyes, but I'm going to just show you something. So I don't know if you can see this. I have this little scar right here. It's just this little tiny scar right here on my arm. And that's a scar from getting bit when I was about 5 years old, okay? I had a cousin that was just so mad at me. She didn't understand me. And this is something I knew at 5 years old, okay? At 5 years old, I understood that she didn't understand me. And she grabbed my arm and she was so mad at me. She grabbed my arm like this with both, she had a hand here and a hand here, and she pulled my arm in and she bit it. And I have a scar to this day from it, okay? But I still, because I'm an empath, I talked to God and I asked her to forgive her. I asked God to forgive her. At 5 years old, I knew what this energy meant. I knew what she meant at 5 years old. That she was just angry and she didn't understand me. And so I understood that at 5 years old. I don't know any different, okay? I don't know any different. And this might come as a surprise to you, but that's how I am. I have this understanding of what a soul does and what a soul means, and the energies they're working on, and it's okay. I understand that darkness and the light. At 5 years old, I understood it. And so it's just how I am. And I've learned to embrace it. I'm learning boundaries even now because I'm such an empath. There's so many energies that come towards me, come flying at me. It's so hard to, keep that like boundary up and not let it soak me and drag me down, and it makes me really tired. So I'm learning these boundaries of, just keeping this light and love around me, because I can't take all that energy on. Okay. I can't, I have to just take care of myself first. Okay. And that's not a bad thing. Okay. So when you take care of yourself first, that is a good boundary to have. And I'm learning this. Okay. Um, I'm learning this. Yes, spiritual gangster. She really bit me hard. I still have the scar, and you know what? And I thank spirit world. I thank her for that scar, because I remember it now. There's something here that I'll never forget. Okay, because I know. Okay, look, this is something I can embrace, because I have that knowledge, because that's a beautiful gift to have. Spirit shows me that I can recognize that. I can accept it and I can let it go. At 5 years old, I should never, most 5 years old can't even comprehend something like that. But I did. I was at camp with my grandmother, my cousins, my family, and I still remember that to this day. She wanted my sister. She wanted my sister. This is my cousin. She wanted my sister for herself. She didn't. I was a third party. I was in. She needed her for herself. She really loved my sister. She didn't want to share her, and I got that. I totally got that. And I just remember sitting down at the picnic table at 5 years old and crying and holding my arm because she made it bleed. These are tooth marks right there. She used her front teeth and she chunked me, right? And I remember just sitting there on the table like this and holding my arm, and I was crying, and I said, but God, forgive her, please, because she doesn't understand. And I knew that. And I don't know how I knew it. I just knew it. And I let it go. And from then on, I never tried to, I just let my cousin have my sister to herself, because that's what she needed. And she didn't understand any different. And it was okay with me. So see, my whole entire life, and 5 years old, maybe I don't even know if that's the first memory I have, but knowing I was an empathic, and just embracing that. It's very different and it's very hard sometimes if you ask any empathic or any person that's a reader, a spiritual reader, and it doesn't even have to be tarot cards. Tarot cards is just a tool, right? It's just a tool to help emphasize the message and clarify a message because as souls with egos, we need a clarification, right? But that's a whole nother thing. I can get into that later, but you know, it's so hard to balance our own energies within ourselves and remember that as empaths and spiritual people, we have to live an ego life too. We do actually have to live this life and be on this earth and do our grocery shopping and take care of our families and earn a living and it's a big, huge balancing act for me because I live so much in the spiritual world. I see so many energies around me and it's I forget that I'm in this world too. I forget that I'm here to grow and learn too. I can't just live in the spirit world. I have to ground myself and protect my own energies and live this world and live my own lessons while I'm here, right? So, so that's just what this energy tells us. When it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. That's it. That's just this beautiful energy that Spirit wants to show us. There is no right or wrong. There is no right or wrong. Even if you choose to go down a different path and you don't embrace your life's purpose, you're still making a choice and you're still going to learn from it. You're never going to cross over and go back into the spirit world and go, well, that was a waste of a life. You didn't learn a damn thing. You didn't do what you're supposed to. Life's not like that. Spirit world's not like that. Our higher selves aren't like that. It's never going to be that way, right? It doesn't matter what life you choose, what path you choose. You will always learn something. You will always learn something. So when it comes to matters of the heart, go with that. Embrace both that darkness and light within you. You can never go wrong because no matter what, you will always, it'll always expand your understanding of life and love within yourself, not just of others. It expands that life and love of yourself. So remember that, remember and embrace that because it's so beautiful too. Okay. And let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Give yourself space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. So this also talks about your ego, okay? It talks about the fact that, sometimes we can let our ego rule our lives so much. It limits us so much that we don't forgive ourselves. We don't learn to say, okay, I realize I'm harder on myself than anybody else ever. You're harder on yourself in this ego 3D world than your higher self ever would be. So when you can learn to just love yourself, give each other space, give yourself that understanding that you're not perfect, then, just allowing and giving and love never claims, it never judges what it means. Take that higher self learning, let that ego go and just love yourself for who you are and let it flow. Because the more you can let it flow, Spirit says, the more that you can learn, the more that you can learn and grow. Loving yourself for who you are. Loving yourself for who you are is what it's all about in this world. It's what it's all about right now in this earth plane. It's very important to embrace your darkness and your light and just love yourself and flow with it. Go with it and flow with it. God says, just go with the flow, Spirit says, and don't worry about it. Every day you're learning and every day you're growing. And what can be better than that? What can be better than that? Give yourself a break, Spirit says. Give yourself an energetic break. Okay? Pat yourself on the back and just let it go. You can't get any better than that. You really can't. Okay, and then that was really a long message, and I don't know how long this is going to go, but I have two more piles left. I have this other one on what our life's work is right now and how we're getting and changing, and um, this just expands a little bit on this other message that I got. So I'm going to just start with this first one. So the first one is this Queen of Swords energy, right? So this, kind of expands on that. And what it does is expands on the energy of, taking that sword to your life. And you don't have to be a divine feminine. You don't have to be a feminine to get this energy. Okay. It's taking this energy of, a divine feminine energy, okay, that receptive, that loving energy within yourself, this receptive, loving, experiencing, allowing energy, and cutting away the ego, cutting away that energy that doesn't work for you anymore. This is the boundaries I was talking about. This is the boundaries that Spirit wants us, is working on with us, to cut away what does not serve us. Spirit says, take that energy and cut away what does not serve. If it does not, she's looking at herself in the mirror, right? So she's saying, does this energy serve me to keep putting myself down? Does this energy serve me to accept what I know I deserve better, right? It applies to so much. It applies to, a career. It applies to lovers in your life or relationships in your life. If they don't apply, she's cutting this out. Okay. This is an energy that's surrounding us all right now. It's cutting that out. Okay. And I can relate to this very much so, because I've been working on this a lot and learning to love myself for who I am and cutting away the stuff that doesn't work for me anymore. And, it's a beautiful energy when you can recognize it, not put yourself down, love yourself for who you are, but just learn this is a boundary I need to have. What's best for me is best for everyone else. And Spirit says, okay, so that's what she's sitting in. This is the energy that she's sitting in, is what's best for me is best for everyone else. This is her universe. This is her world. So it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what anybody else wants. What's best for her is best for everyone else. So when she can sit in that energy and accept that and know that this is what's best for her, then everything in the universe will align for her better, because she's not going against herself. She's not allowing this energy of what others want for me. Okay. So this is huge. This is a huge message coming through. So, there are people right now that are doers, and they do all these things and try to please others by doing what others want for them, but maybe not what they want for themselves. Right. So it's learning to recognize that, I've been pleasing others, but I haven't been pleasing myself. I've been pleasing myself, to learning to cut this away. Learning to cut this away because it doesn't apply. It's not making me happy. I'm not a happy person just going with the flow and trying to please everybody else. What about me? What about me? I'm here. I'm this, beautiful soul. I'm here on this earth right now. I'm here to learn and love too. I deserve love. I deserve to be happy. So this is the energy of just sitting in that energy and making a judgment call for yourself, right? Judgment is karma. So it's also coming down and taking this energy and applying it to yourself. Judgment is, and karma is applying it to your own life. Okay. So if it doesn't work for you, and you can cut that away. Judgment cuts that away and makes a judgment call on yourself. Okay. It applies within us. We are all this energy. We are the same energy of what has made us. The same energy that created us is what's within us. Spirit says, and they want to remind us of that. So you can sleep with judgment every night. Sleep with karma every night. Get that energy to work for you. Okay. And yes, they're going to show you, if they show you lessons you have to learn, then go with it. go with it and cut out what doesn't work for you. Make what's best for you. Take those lessons that you've learned that karma is going to dish, because karma, you know, is an energy none of us can get away from. None of us can get away from it. If you do good, you're going to get good. Now, if you do people wrong, you're going to keep getting reminded that you need to make this right. And that's how it works. It's an energy. It cannot be changed. It's a universal law. It works. When you flow with it, it will work with you. When you go against it, it's just going to keep reminding you and pushing you and pushing you. And this shit's just going to keep showing up in your life until it gets fixed. That's all there is to it. Right? So you're making that judgment call within yourself to accept that karma, accept that energy and fix that. Then that's when you can learn and grow. And going within, okay, so and it's going within to, realize this, okay? It's going within and accepting, sleeping with karma, so to speak, sleeping with judgment, making those calls and cutting that out, fixing what needed to be fixed, okay? So the Queen of Swords is not only, it's fixing that energy. It's fixing that within yourself, within your own soul to make that universal law work for you. Okay. So karma is, it's just going to keep showing up until you fix it and make it right. That's how it works. And if you don't do this, Spirit wants to remind you, they will come down and do it for you. It's a law. It cannot be transgressed. It cannot be neglected. It cannot be bypassed. It cannot be begged upon to be let go. If you don't do it, if you don't take that sword and make that right within yourself, judgment and karma, it's the same energy, will make that call for you. There will be something that will happen in your life, and they will make that call and they will fix it. They will fix it, and you're going to see it. And you're going to know that, look, okay, I can't transgress these universal laws, right? So going deep within will help you realize and see just how much, if there were some energies that were neglected, if there were some things that weren't taken care of in your life, if you're neglecting yourself, if you're neglecting others, and these energies have to be fixed. Okay. So like when you're, this is the deep within that we're doing right now, is going within and saying, I didn't treat this person right. I didn't do right by them. Karma and judgment are going to keep showing up in your life to remind you. You're going to keep getting pictures of them in your mind. You're going to keep getting reminded. You're going to see their faces. You're going to see their names. You're going to hear music. You're going to hear, your karma is going to do everything it can. It can sit on your shoulder and it's going to whisper in your ear, and it might kick you in the ass too, until it reminds you to go within and figure out how to fix it. Because if you don't, I'm going to do it anyway. Karma says, I'm going to do it anyway. So it's up to you. You can either do it, go within, figure out a way to fix that, or I'll do it for you. That's how karma works, right? So it's very deep energy. So then, then death comes and the Fool comes. So these energies are saying you can transform that. You can take all those past energies of the things that, the past that you took maybe that weren't as useful and helpful to you. You did learn from them, right? But if you hurt others, death will come in and honestly show you, this is not an energy that serves you, and it's not an energy that serves others, right? So if it's a very destructive energy that will come in and cut this away. But if you're being destructive with yourself and you're being destructive with others, then death will come in and transform that. It will come in and transform that and take that away. Okay? So you have to really dance with this, dance with that darkness, dance with those energies of, if you're going against these universal laws that are meant to work with us and protect us. If you're going against that, death will show us that, it's not going to work for you. There's spiritual laws that we need to abide by. And there's also these laws that we came down with in this life that are meant to teach us, okay? So if you're having a really rough time and a really rough life, and you think karma is just out to get you, and you're having all these bad things happen to you, and these relationships aren't working out, and you keep lying to people and trying to fool yourself into being this person that you're really not, it's just going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening to you because you're not living your true self. And so death is going to come in and it's going to transform that. If you don't transform it yourself, it will come and transform you. Because if that's not your life lesson, if that's not the life that you were meant to live, then they will come in and cut that shit out. They'll make you, force you, because it's a universal law that you were meant to learn. They'll come in and force you and make this happen for you. They're going to help you. They're going to push you on that path to make that change within yourself. If you don't do it yourself, and if you're meant to have this happen, if fate and destiny are meant to have you do this, then they will come in and transform you, okay? Karma will make that judgment call and come in and make that change for you, right? But when that change happens, Spirit says, you can be that fool. You can be that fool and transform yourself and jump off that cliff, close your eyes and jump off that cliff and start anew. You can. It's just up to you whether you want to abide by these spiritual laws and abide by our life's lessons and love ourselves for who we are within our darkness and our light and live the best life we can. We can transform. We can be that fool. We can jump off that cliff and start over, right? So then look at this. This is so freaking crazy. The oracle cards that popped out. Look at this. It says passion, a magnetic and seductive quality surrounds you at present. Enjoy it. This is loving yourself. This is loving yourself. It's not just sexual. It's really embracing you for who you are and loving yourself. Really loving yourself for who you are and making the wrongs within you right. If it's wrongs with other people or wrongs within yourself, it's making that right within yourself and loving yourself for who you are. And then look at this. Imagine all the unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities for your life. That's the fool. That's the fool's energy. Look at that. Look at that. Think of this energy, okay? This and close your eyes and I want you to feel this energy, right? So the fool is taking all those energies, imagining yourself taking all those unwanted thoughts and dissolving it into light, making all those wrongs right. You have it within you to make all those wrongs right. You have it within you. You have the energy within you to do so. It's a matter of recognizing and accepting it and rolling with it. You can change that person within you. You can change who you are within yourself, and you can make those wrongs right within yourself, and you can make those wrongs right with others. You have the free will. You have the choice to do so. And when you do that, when you let those negative thoughts and negative energies dissolve, what you're doing energetically is letting that energy fall away. And what you're doing is allowing this energy to just flow into you that is meant for you. Okay? So it's energy. If you keep yourself, you're energetically clogged up with all these unwanted thoughts, all this fear energy, all this ego energy of, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm afraid. What if I get hurt? Blah, 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 right? You fill up your whole energetic body with those energies. You're not allowing anything new to come in. But when you can just let it go, when you can just say, you know what, I'm going to let this go and I'm going to see what's out there for me. I'm going to be the fool. I'm going to sit in that fool's energy and see, hey, what's the universe have in store for me? Because you know what? I'm ready for new opportunities and possibilities for my life. I'm going to apologize to that person that I need to apologize to. I'm going to hug that person that I've wanted to hug. I'm going to be my best self, sit in my energy of knowing what is best for me, what I need to do to make myself a better person. And I'm going to let all that old negative energy to go. That's letting go of the past. Okay. It's letting go of the past, knowing right now, today, you can make that choice to start over, to start new. You can say, okay, I'm going to chalk it up to lesson learned. I can just chalk it up to lesson learned. That's it. Chalk it up to lesson learned and move on. Move on. Let that energy go and move on and sit in that fool's energy and take on new energies. Take on what is meant for you. See what's out there that's coming in that maybe is so much better than you've allowed. If you sit in that ego energy, you're not going to allow this to come in, right? But if you let that energy go, let that ego energy go and just go with the flow. Go with the flow. You're actually working with a universal law. Okay. You're working with the universal law of, I don't know what it's called. Hold on. I wrote some of these down. Yeah. Learn the law of conscious detachment. You're not when you're working with that energy, it's a universal law. Conscious detachment is not being attached to the ego self and learning to allow what is meant for you, what is best for you, whatever this universe wants for you. It's letting go and trusting. It's just letting go and trusting and seeing what is out there for you. When you can do that, you'd be surprised at what is waiting for you, what is energetically waiting for you if you allow it, Spirit says. Okay, so sit in that ego, or no, sorry. Let go of that ego energy. Sit in that fool's energy of, hey, I'm gonna go see what's out there for me. I have this whole world, I have this whole universe of energy that I can work with if I choose to, right? I can choose to learn what love really is. I can choose to learn what it really means to forgive somebody and be forgiven. I can learn this. I can be that fool and just try. And just go with it. Go with that flow and see what's out there for me. I can learn this. I can sit in that energy of what wisdom really is and what knowledge really is and learn to see what I'm really made of. What I'm really made of isn't just what my eyes and my ears and my voice, like what my 5 senses or 6 senses, whatever, this limited human body teaches us. No. I can see what I'm made of is so much more. It's so much more, and it's so beautiful when you can just let go and let flow and see what comes. It's so beautiful. You'd be so surprised how the energy works when you let it go and let it flow. It's just so beautiful, Spirit says. Because there's so much better waiting for you. There's always going to be so much better waiting for you. More beautiful things than you ever thought possible. Right? New opportunities and possibilities for your life. So embrace that. Embrace that energy of just closing your eyes and letting go. Be that fool. See what happens. See what happens. Because honestly, Spirit says, do you think you're ever really going to fall off that cliff and die? Do you think you're really going to be hurt? No, they got you. Spirit's always got your back. No matter what happens, Spirit has always had your back. The universe, whether you learn something and you hurt yourself, or you think you've hurt others, you're still going to learn. There's never going to be something that you're not going to learn with. So Spirit has your back no matter what. So let go and let it flow, Spirit says, and see what happens. Okay. Sorry. That was just a really beautiful and really beautiful message. So the last message I have, the closing message I have from Spirit, is another. I can't even get over that. Honestly, this is just blowing my mind how beautiful this energy is. But it showed up. Okay, now these are all the cards that came up. All of them came out together. I'm just dumbfounded almost because of this energy. This 10 of Wands energy came out. Okay. And what it shows me is having it all within ourselves. Okay. Having it all within ourselves. And just like really sitting in that energy of knowing that I can have it all. Okay. And the high priestess energy is coming out to say, you know what? I am this strong, loving person. I can I can take these shadows, I can take this light, and I can dance with it, and I can work with temperance and and work with this light and have everything I've ever wanted. The sun's energy is having everything you ever wanted and allowing it to flow and allowing it to happen. Letting that ego go and allowing it to happen. Working with temperance to even out those energies, and cutting away, like the high priestess, see it, she has, see how she has the scissors in her hand. It's cutting away, the stuff that doesn't work for her or him. It doesn't matter, male or female, actually. It's cutting that energy out, working with temperance, just letting it be, like allowing yourself to say, okay, this is how it is right now. This is how I am. This is how the universe is right now. This is what is real for me right now. Whatever is going on in your life, right? That's another universal law of just allowing yourself, not fighting what is. This is what is, okay? So you're, allowing that, working with temperance and saying, I can allow what is. This is how my life is. Accepting it for how it is right now, whatever that reality is, can allow this change to take place and allow you to make that choice, okay, to cut away what does not serve you and be the best that you can possibly be. The Ten of Wands is being the absolute best, having the best, attaining the best that you can honestly be within yourself. Okay, when you can do that, then that's how it comes together with somebody else, because it's all energy. Okay, you're gonna, like attracts like, and Spirit says when you can do that, you cut out what does not serve you and allow temperance to come in and balance out those energies of darkness and light. You can have it all, and that's the sun's energy. It's just showing you can have it all. That's the ultimate attainment of loving yourself, of seeing your soul as what it is. Okay, and let's just use me as an example. Okay, so I woke up today and I thought to myself, my God, here it is Sunday. I haven't done a reading for 6 days. I'm going to choose to not be afraid, right? I'm going to choose to not be afraid. I'm going to cut out that stupid ego that keeps telling me I should be afraid of failing. Right? I love this channel. I love what I do. This is who I am. And I'm going to cut away that flippant ego and just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to allow temperance to remind me that I don't have to let my ego rule me. Okay. Temperance is here reminding me to say, okay, when your ego pops up and rears its ugly head, you can ask temperance to come in and temper that back down and say, you know what? I'm going to go with my higher self and listen to my higher self and cut out that energy of my ego. And when I do that, then I do have this Ten of Wands energy of being the best I can possibly be for myself. And that is the sun's energy. It's coming in and realizing I'm perfect just the way I am. And I'm learning. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm learning to be the best person I can be. I'll never be really perfect. But I can be the best person I was meant to be right now. And I can just keep going forward, moving forward, embracing what my soul's path is, my soul's purpose is. And I can have that sun. I can be that sun energy and embrace myself and love myself for exactly who I am. And then look at this. There was just one card popped out. It has this beautiful angel wings on the back. And this is the closing message, the oracle card that clarifies everything I just said. And look what it says. And I haven't even read this yet. Okay. I haven't even read this yet, but I have a feeling it's just going to be flippin' perfect. Right. Okay. So it's an angel and it says, the past is now behind you. I love this. Look at this. I'm getting goosebumps. Release it and embrace new possibilities. This is the closing reading from Spirit, okay? Saying the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. See how that works? See how beautiful energy and spirit works with us when we allow it? I made that choice. Just using me for an example. I made that choice to say, you know what? I'm not going to be afraid anymore. I'm going to keep doing these readings. I'm going to try to keep doing these readings every day if I can, because this is what I do. This is who I am. This is my soul. This is me embracing myself for who I am, the divine feminine and divine masculine energies within me, and embracing who I am. So do you see, by me moving forward and going with my soul's purpose, that's grasping this divine masculine energy that showed up in all these kings, right? It showed up in all these kings because that's embracing my divine masculine energy within me. It's moving forward. It's making a stand. It's being very, it makes the decisions. It's very, a doer energy, right? I'm embracing that divine masculine within me and I'm going with it. I'm going to say, you know what? Because I don't care if I fail. I will never fail because I'm doing what I love. You can't fail. You can't fail when you do what you love, right? And Spirit's just showing us, I am this sun energy now because I'm going to embrace everything I love to do. And, I never know on any day how the messages are going to come through, but I have a gift. I have a gift and I'm not going to ignore it anymore. I'm not going to push that away because of fear. I won't push that away because of fear. I'm going to embrace it. And I'm going to thank the universe for giving me this gift because I'm here to help others. This is why I'm here. I'm here to learn and to grow and also to help others. And when I embrace my own gifts, I'm giving myself that 10 of Wands energy. I'm giving myself everything I've ever wanted. In that sun's energy, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong because you're loving yourself exactly for who you are and you're doing that purpose. Listen, I'll read this one more time. The past is now behind me, right? I didn't plan on getting up and saying these things. I woke up and this just hit me full force that I have been neglecting my own soul, right? But now I can make that choice. The past is now behind me. It no longer exists. It is behind me. And I will not bring that back forward. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let that past go and release it and learn from it and embrace all these new possibilities, this new energy that's going to open up for me and allowing all these new paths that are coming, that are going to be available to me because I'm embracing who I am and I'm not letting my ego talk to me. Okay, that's learning to let go of that ego. Remember, that ego is what keeps us in fear. It keeps us, it's the survival thing. So I'm letting that ego go because I love to do what I'm doing right now, being on this channel, giving these messages of hope and knowledge to others about how energy works. That's who I am. That's who I am. So the past is now behind me too. And the past can be behind you. You can let all that go. Say thank you for all the lessons you've ever learned and let all that go. Let all that go and allow yourself these new paths and possibilities. Wondrous, new, beautiful possibilities are available. Temperance will take that past, can help you take that past away and allow all this new energy to come in. And you never know what's going to happen for you. You never know. It can be so much more beautiful. You never know what's going to be available to you unless you allow it, Spirit says. When you allow it, then Unlimited possibilities will be there for you. Unlimited possibilities. You see how beautiful this message is? Letting go of our ego and really listening to our higher selves, really listening to our higher selves, listening to our soul, listening to our, the spirit of what our purpose is. And don't be afraid. Spirit says, don't be afraid if you don't know what that is yet. Don't be afraid. But letting go of that past and embracing the new possibilities does allow that wisdom of your soul's purpose to come in. So release that past and don't be afraid of it. Don't turn yourself down and don't bury yourself and talk yourself down because of it. It's all lessons, accept it, release it, let it go, and allow the universe to show you what is meant for you. Because there's unlimited possibilities there. The sun's energy is unlimited possibilities for you when you allow it. When you allow it. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this message. And Spiritual Gangster Tarot, I love you. Thank you very much for being here with my live chat. I appreciate it so much. I love you so much. Guys, go check her out. She's on YouTube too, Spiritual Gangster Tarot. She's a wonderful, wonderful soul. She's in my soul family, and she is just a wonderful person to talk with and get to know. And she's in United Kingdom. So get to know her too, okay? And don't forget, guys, to like, subscribe, share this video with anybody that you think might need this, these messages and these messages of love at this time. And if you'd like to do a donation to my channel, I really would appreciate it. Like I said, I am learning, I'm growing, I'm just starting this off, and the link is below. But please at least like and share this video and hit that subscribe button. It's down below, and it would really mean a lot to me. All right, guys, I love you very much, and I hope this messages bring you lots of love and hope, okay? Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.